Hey, it's Maria, and this is Wealth Creation, the channel where we talk about creating wealth, passive income, financial freedom, business, lifestyle, and all those types of fun things. If you like these subjects and you want to learn more, then subscribe to my channel and ring the bell icon so you get notifications. So, today I want to talk about the thing that you need to do before you make a budget. So, people talk about getting out of debt or keeping your expenses in line or having an emergency fund or saving money to invest. And the word budget comes into play. And that's like a dirty word, isn't it? Because so many people, it seems heavy and it just seems like, oh my God, I'm going to have to give up everything I love. And nobody wants that. It's funny though, because if you want to go on a vacation and you're like, I'm going to budget to go on this vacation, then it's fun because then you're like, oh, I'm going to give up that coffee so I can put money into my vacation fund. So if it's fun, if it's something you want, budget's a whole different thing. But I'm talking about the kind of down and yucky, heavy budget where you think you have to give things up. So before you start a spreadsheet or write down on a piece of paper or get some kind of course or software, anything to do a budget for you, I want you to do this first because it's going to open your eyes to a lot of holes that you have in your spending habits. I want you to think about, and even write this down if it helps, but think about the difference in the money you're spending. And when you spend money, ask yourself, is this essential or is this discretionary or extra? Is this money that I need to spend? Like, do I have to spend this? Or is it because I choose to? Or is it because I'm lazy? Because there's a lot of that going around too. So, have to would be like you have to put gas in your car. You have to buy food, right? You have to pay your electric bill if you like electricity. You have to pay your cell phone bill if you like to be able to communicate with people. So those would be essential funds. And even those could be massaged a little bit. Like, do you have to have the super duper expensive cell phone plan or could you do something less? But we're not going to talk about that here. Just separating the things that you've got to pay with the things that are discretionary. You know, a discretionary fund is something that you don't have to pay, but you like to. Like if you stop at Starbucks every morning, that technically is discretionary. You will not die if you don't go to Starbucks in the morning. Another discretionary thing would be taking your car through the car wash every week. You could have a dirty car. It's not essential. Now, if you have a job where you have to have a clean car, that's different. But for most of us, it's not essential. Um, Buying a new outfit every couple weeks and having a closet full of clothes that you hardly ever wear or maybe have even forgotten that you bought. That's not essential. That's discretionary. You know, buying your kids toys all the time just because they ask at the store. That's discretionary. So the more you pay attention to your spending, and just do it over the next couple weeks, write it down if you want to really get clear on it, but even just doing it in your mind, you can just start labeling it. I'm not asking you to change anything. I'm just asking you to label it essential, discretionary. Now, what is lazy money? Lazy money is money that you're spending because you're lazy. I don't feel like cooking, so I'm just gonna order out. I don't feel like picking it up on the way home, so I'm just gonna get DoorDash to deliver it. That to me is kind of lazy money. It's convenient, yes, but it's really just throwing money away because those things add up. You know, I can cook at home and make a meal that'll last me several days for less than the cost of one meal out. Doesn't mean I never eat out, but I just know the difference. I know when I'm being lazy and I just don't feel like cooking. I know when I'm too lazy to get off my butt, so I order DoorDash to deliver it. I know when I'm doing things that I'm just lazy. I mean, to me, I just am. So those are the three categories: essential, discretionary, and lazy. And for the next couple weeks, just look at them. I don't want you to make any changes. You can write them down if you want. You can take a piece of paper and make 3 columns and put different expenses in each. Or if you're all fancy, you can do a spreadsheet or something. Or you can just, when you get your credit card statement, just mark each one, you know, essential, like E for essential, D for discretionary, and L for lazy, because you're going to know pretty quickly. And the more you do that and the more you really get a hold on, gosh, I'm being super lazy, or gosh, I spent $500 on freaking coffee last month, you're going to naturally start saying, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And so it really lessens the idea or the need for a really strict budget, because just by labeling those things, you're going to start to get clear on, I maybe don't need to get coffee every day. Maybe I should get coffee every other day. Maybe it should be like a treat on Fridays. Maybe I don't need to get the car washed every week. Maybe every other week's good enough. And those are the kind of things that your mind's going to start thinking once you realize how much you got to work to pay for the things that you're just lazy about, or to pay for the things that you are doing because of habit or maybe enjoyment, but a lot of times it's habit. And you're just like, it's not worth my time for this, you know? And then the next step you can do if you really want to is, how much is that coffee costing? So if you make, let's say you make $28 an hour, that's easy. And your coffee costs $7. That is 1/4 of your hour, 15 minutes. You have to work 15 minutes to buy that cup of coffee. If you made that coffee at home and took it with you in a thermos, maybe you have to work 30 seconds, not very much. So if you start looking at it like that, like, how much did I have to work to buy that cup of coffee, to buy that outfit, to do that car wash, to pay for that DoorDash? Sometimes the DoorDash fee seems to be as much as the order. To eat out instead of cooking in. How much did I have to pay for that? How much did I have to pay to buy the brand of this particular grocery when the store brand is a lot cheaper and just as good? Sometimes the store brands are even better. So start looking at it in terms of how much of your labor, your time, your work, you're trading for that thing that is discretionary or lazy type of spending. And that's another thing that's going to start making you say, hey, my time is worth more than this. So I'm not going to pay $7 for a cup of coffee. I'm not going to spend 15 minutes working for a cup of coffee. I'm willing to spend 5 minutes or 1 minute or 30 seconds. It just really changes your perspective. Again, don't make any changes. We're not doing a budget here. We're just talking about seeing the difference between essential, discretionary, and lazy income, and then calculating how much it's really costing you in terms of your time versus what you make versus what you spend. And I think if you do that seriously and diligently, you're going to find that your spending habits start to change, just because a cup of coffee may not be worth 15 minutes of your time. And you might find that you have a little extra money because of that, without ever having to sit down and do a budget and try to beat yourself up over living within your means and all that kind of stuff. Okay, that's it. Just some thoughts, and let me know in the comments if you take them to heart, if you try this, and what your results are. Peace out, and here's to our success.